could call Cerebroprotein a pioneer, so to speak, in neuroprotective therapy. When it first came out, it was pretty much the only treatment that gave any hope to people with brain damage, whether traumatic, toxic, or even infectious. In the 20th century, Cerebroprotein became kind of a breakthrough in the treatment of the consequences of encephalitis. Most people know cerebroprotein hydrolysate under the brand name Cerebrolysin, but on cosmicnootropic.com it's listed as Cerebroprotein. Different names, same product. Hi, I'm Dr. Mikhail Tetyushkin. I'm a psychiatrist, and I've been working in this field for more than 25 years. In this video, we're talking about cerebroprotein hydrolysate, or cerebrolysin, one of the very few drugs that could show effectiveness for managing conditions in developing dementia, or conditions that precede the development of dementia due to organic brain damage, or in brain damage after poisoning with, say, lead, mercury, manganese, and so on. It was also used in severe consequences of traumatic brain injuries, vascular damage, strokes, and brain attacks. So it was used for a whole bunch of conditions that unfortunately aren't really that rare. And with age, along with decreased brain function, they grow exponentially.
I can't remember anything without you.
And so, as the population gets older, this issue gets more pressing. And accordingly, back at the end of the 20th century, there weren't many treatment options. Basically, at that time, cerebroprotein was the standard for treating encephalopathy and other conditions that often lead to dementia. Cerebroprotein was the standard for treating post-stroke conditions, and it showed positive dynamics. People recovered better after strokes, speech function and movement coordination were restored, cognitive abilities got better, and cognitive function improved. People who had suffered traumatic brain injuries reported that explosiveness, irritability, and aggressive outbursts decreased with cerebroprotein. Of course, proving cerebroprotein's effectiveness is not that easy, but as a combination therapy, it's good enough. As for the mode of administration according to its instructions, cerebroprotein can be taken both intramuscularly and intravenously. But from the conversation with a representative of the manufacturing company Ever Neuropharma, I learned that the intramuscular way is way less effective compared to intravenous. So this pig brain hydrolysate has, as I already said, difficult to prove effectiveness. And when it gets into the muscle tissue via IM, the probability that it can somehow reach its target, the brain, is, let's say, much lower. So, without question, the most effective way to take cerebroprotein is via an intravenous infusion, preferably as a gradual drip administration, let's say 5 to 10 milliliters of cerebroprotein mixed with 200 milliliters of saline solution or 0.9% sodium chloride solution. Click on the links in this video's description to find more information. But let's look at cerebroprotein today. Now that more effective medications for treating dementia or for post-stroke therapy have appeared, does it still have any role in treatment? So is it even worth thinking about? I'd say yes, maybe not for everyone, but still. Back in the days, this cerebroprotein was almost a must-have treatment among neurologists for all post-stroke patients. But now it's prescribed for a certain group of patients who have asthenic syndrome. And here I don't mean a medical condition. I'm talking about increased excitability, increased fatigue of the nervous system, and weakness, lethargy, feeling worn out, and exhaustion. These can be symptoms of a whole variety of conditions. It can be depression with asthenic syndrome, it can be any disorder involving organic brain damage, ranging from post-concussion syndrome all the way to early stages of, let's say, mixed dementia. It can be practically any neurological condition, actually. The list can be quite long here. These can be somatization disorders when, again, this weakness, lethargy, feeling worn out, and exhaustion dominate the clinical picture. There are many alternatives to cerebroprotein, sometimes in more convenient forms when a person doesn't have to get injections but can simply take pills.
At last.
So the mode of administration is a real limitation for cerebroprotein. That's why it's now less popular than, say, 30 years ago. But nonetheless, in certain cases and for certain patients, this is a very effective treatment. There's a lot of talk about nootropic drugs. Some people say they're legitimate, others claim that their effectiveness is not proven, still others just call them supplements. You know what? They all have a point.
That is brand new information!
But what's the real deal with these nootropics? Can they really help, or is this just hype? I break it all down in a separate video. Go check it out.